Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Tim, back with another video, and today I wanted to once again talk about sobriety and sober living, and my message in today's video is that it gets easier, okay? It gets easier. Now, I know there's lots of narratives out there that I really do not like, that present the idea that if you've struggled with drinking, you're always going to struggle with drinking. I hate when people say once an alcoholic, always an alcoholic. I hate it. I hate that term. You may embrace it and love it, cool. Me personally, I hate it. And the reason I dislike it is not because there's not some truth to it, but because I think it gets a lot of people who are on the cusp or on the verge of quitting. It scares them so much that they don't even try. Because you're like, if you know, you quit for a couple days and it's super hard and you're like, really, it's gonna be like this for the rest of my life? I'm always gonna have to struggle like this? Screw it, I'll just drink. And I know for me, that was one of the main things. But here's the thing, it gets easier. And I don't think a lot of people mention this. For some reason, people don't say this. I don't know why. It gets easier. It's just drinking. The reason why we drink so much is that it's a learned behavior. It is a learned behavior. It's something we do. A lot of us, it's something we do every evening. We come home from work, we sit down, we have a few beer, we have a few drinks, or we go to the bar, we have our regular, and we associate with our friends, or if we're at home, we watch our TV shows. We have a routine, and within that routine is drinking. On the weekends, we turn it up a little more, but it's learned behavior. It is a routine. But the beauty of learned behavior, is that it can be unlearned. And this is what I think the message a lot of people aren't putting out there. You can unlearn being an addict. You can unlearn being a drunk. It's unlearnable. Now, a lot of times there's also the other aspect too, is like the physical dependency our body gets. But here's the beauty of that too. Your body over time will become less dependent on a substance if you stop giving it to it. So you can unlearn the behavior and your body can stop being as dependent. There's so many things in life that we wean ourselves off of, and it's hard to do at first, then it gets easier. Drinking is the same way. Drinking is the same way. In the beginning, it's very hard because your brain is like, dude, it's 6 o'clock. Why are we not doing what we always do? Your brain is a perfect alarm clock. You know how like your brain wakes you up at the same time every morning, sometimes even if you don't set your alarm clock, because your brain is perfect, is a great alarm clock. And it's the same way with like drinking. If you start drinking every evening around 5, 6 o'clock, guess what? Your brain is going to say, ooh, time to drink. It's 5, 6 o'clock. It's going to give you those urges. But here's what happens over time when you quit. When you slow down, then you eventually quit. In the beginning, your brain's going to be like 5, 6 o'clock, time to drink. But now it's getting new data because for the past month, you haven't drank around 5, 6 o'clock. So now it's starting to say, it's 5, 6 o'clock. Maybe we should drink, maybe we shouldn't. I'll throw a little impulse out there. I'll be like, drink, maybe, and see what happens. 2 months go by, 3 months go by. Your brain's like, oh yeah, it's 5, 6 o'clock. We used to drink. We haven't really been drinking. I'll throw a slight impulse out there. Drink. But then the time comes when the new learned behavior is not drinking. The time will eventually come when the new learned behavior of not drinking every evening, or not drinking whenever you drink during the day, or drinking all day like some people do. The time will come when that's the new behavior. And so your brain will no longer trigger you to drink. Because now it's like, oh, we just work, we come home, we watch TV, we do whatever. The new behavior is not drinking, and that's when it starts to get very easy. Now there will be certain, circumstances or places or environments we might go in, or something we might see on TV, or something someone might say that might trigger us to be like, ooh, I want to drink. But that whole learned behavior, which is really, I think, the big issue, will go away. The same with the physical dependency. Your body is used to having a certain amount of alcohol every day. When it doesn't get that, it's going to crave it. It's going to crave it. And depending on how much you drink, how long you've been drinking, those cravings could be very severe. Some people might even have to seek medical attention because those cravings are so severe. And their body just can't cope without it. But over time, your body will learn to cope without it. Over time, the cravings will not be as intense because your body's not used to having it anymore. After a month, after 2 months, your body is starting to go back to normal slowly. And sometimes this takes a long time, but eventually your body will get back to the body it was before you used to drink. There was a time in your life when you didn't drink, and life was fun, life was great. I mean, I always think about childhood. I love my childhood. I had tons of fun, and I never drank. I never drank. So eventually, like, I always keep in my mind, I can get back to that mental level and that body level that I had when I was a child or a teenager, when I didn't drink. All I have to do is not drink long enough for my brain and my body to reset back to that. And it'd be like, oh yeah, we drink water and juice and soda. Yeah, that's all we drink. That's what your body will be expecting. Just regular fluids, liquids. It won't be expecting the alcohol. And your brain won't be expecting to get drunk, and then when that happens, all you really just have to do is keep the conscious you. A lot of that stuff is subconscious, but you just have to keep the conscious you away from environments that make you want to drink. And then it's easier. It's so much easier. It just takes time. And in the beginning, it is very hard. It is very hard. I can't sugarcoat that in any way. Can't sugarcoat that in any way. It's very hard. But you will not have the same level of cravings that you have in the beginning 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 6 months from now. And the more time you put in, every day you put in not drinking makes it easier. It might only make it a millismidge easier. But when you add up, 30 of those millismidges, that's some work. That's a whole smidge. like over time, it gets easier. And this is one of the things you need to dwell on when you're having a really hard day, really hard night. And you're like, all I want to do is have a drink right now. Just keep in mind that if you can get through that really hard urge, that makes it's going to be easier tomorrow. It's going to be a little bit easier tomorrow. You won't struggle like that forever. And it also keeps you from taking that relapse, that first drink back, because you have to kind of start over. You take another, you start drinking again, you got to kind of start over. Your brain's like, oh, new learned behavior, we're drinking again. It gets all confused, but if you just stay on the course, just keep not drinking, it gets easier over time. And yes, you will still be the person who has an issue with drinking, which is why you're not drinking, but it's not like this monkey is on your back riding you every single day. No. Yeah, you have a problem with drinking, so you don't drink. It's that easy. It's that easy. You can tell people that. Some people, whatever your truth is and however you have to tell your story, tell it. But we don't have to, as people struggling with drinking, if we go somewhere and people offer us a drink, we don't have to go into this whole backstory of why we don't drink. You can say, I don't drink. It just doesn't affect me well. I don't do well with drinking. That's all you got to say. And I found when I say it like that, people move right on. If I say something like, oh, I used to drink, but I had to give it up, then it's an issue. People are scared to drink, or it gets weird. I just say, I don't really drink. It doesn't do well with my body, which is true. 100% true. It just affects me weird. I don't drink. And people are like, oh, okay. And it's like that. I found I can go to bars. I can be around people drinking, because it's been a while now. I'm not one of the, if you ever watch my videos, I'm not big on dates. How long it's been, just because I just don't think that I don't ever want to drink again in my life. So why does it matter if it's been 1 year, 2 years, or 10 years? I know in my head, kind of the year marks, sort of, just because I remember kind of what I was doing when I quit. But I really don't dwell on dates and things like that. I just never want to drink again. That's my goal every day today, is to not drink. That's my goal every day. Not going to drink today. Doesn't matter how many days in the past I didn't drink. Really, I don't have to, talk about it. But yeah, if you just focus on the fact that, if you're really struggling today, it'll be a little easier tomorrow. It'll be a little easier next week. It'll be a little easier next month. And then you don't have to have that fear of relapsing because you think it's going to be so hard for the rest of your life. And I'm always going to have to, nah, it gets easier. It gets easier. Don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. Like, don't, I know when you're trying to quit, you get all wrapped up and it's so hard and you're so depressed, you're down on yourself. Don't sweat it. Don't overthink it. Just don't drink today. Tomorrow comes around, don't drink tomorrow. Eventually you won't even have the urge. Eventually the day will come, mark my words on this, the day will come when there will be days when you forget that you even have this issue with drinking. You won't even think about it. It won't even pop in your head. A week will go by and somebody will be like, hey, you want a beer? And you'll be like, nah, I'm good. And you'll be like, oh yeah, what did used to be a thing. I did used to go out and get crazy and act stupid and spend all my money on drinking. I did ruin relationships on that. The day will come you don't even think about it because it's gotten that much easier. Anyway, I'm Tim. Thanks for watching. Comment box below. I'd love to hear your story. If you agree with me, disagree with me. And also too, if you are starting on your road to sobriety or been on it for a while and you want someone to talk to, you have some questions, or if you're still drinking and you just really want to get away from it, anytime. My contact information is in the description box below. Hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, on here, anytime of the day or night. You just really get an urge, you need someone to talk to, hit me up. I'm there for you. I will do whatever I can to help you on your sobriety journey. Anyway, I'm Tim. Thanks for watching. Talk to y'all later.